that doesn't excuse any of this anyway. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, then welcome to my channel. Hit the red subscribe button, join the fam, because everybody's welcome. So here we go. It's not going to be a cheery one, but it's my story. And this isn't me jumping on a bandwagon of the #MeToo movement. This is me wanting to share my story and hope that I can help somebody. So, by me saying #MeToo, you probably already know where this one's going. I'm going to jump right on and say it, because I hate saying this sentence, but we might as well get it out of the way first. I was raped when I was 14 years old. It's a horrible sentence to have to say. I am 26 years old now, so we're nearly at 12 years. I'm not going to go into, details, but I'm just going to, talk about it. So, I was 14 years old, and I was living with my mum. My parents had divorced, and my mum had gone to stay with her boyfriend, and my dad was supposed to be looking after me. But I don't blame my parents in any way. It was my friend's birthday. He had just turned 18 and was going to the pub and asked if I wanted to join him. He went with a couple of other friends of mine and his and whatnot. So I said, yeah, I'll come along. Sounds like a laugh. Why not? You're 14. Going to the pub where someone's willing to buy you drinks. Of course you're going to go. So I went and we was at the pub until closing. So I think at the time pubs were shutting around 11 o'clock. And then we decided that, it's only 11 o'clock, the night's still young, let's continue. And long story short, we got very, very drunk. But I don't think I was really drunk, I wouldn't have, I still had, control. Still knew what I was doing. Two of the lads there were 18 and two of us were 14. I was the only girl, but that doesn't excuse any of this anyway. It's going to be a little bit of an all-over video. I am still trying to remember a lot of this. This video did literally just come to me 10 minutes ago, and I really want to talk about it because people don't want to talk about it, and they should, because there is no shame in this. Anyway, we went back to the birthday boy's house and continued drinking. Eventually, the two 18-year-olds passed out, and it was just me and the 14-year-old that was, we were both 14. We were both awake, and I don't want to go into detail. I don't want to explain everything that happened because it could be a complete trigger, and it's a trigger for me, so I don't really want to talk about it too much. But it happened, and I didn't want it to happen. I'm not going to go into too much detail, like I said. And I didn't go to school the next day because it was a school night, and I didn't go to school the next day. And then the day afterwards, I got called into the office and asked where I was the day before. And I broke down and told them what had happened, and I had to write a statement. Never went to the police though. The school never reported it to the police, which I wish I'd known why they never reported it to the police. But the police were never called. Now, like I said, I was 14, and the age of consent in the UK is 16 for both sex, and the doctors don't have to tell your parents anything after the age of 16. But for some reason, they never told my parents that they were taking me to the doctors. The doctors never told my parents, but they took me to the doctors, got me an emergency appointment, and gave me the morning after pill. And, stood over me while I took it. No, you will take this tablet. And obviously didn't get pregnant. But word got out around school that it wasn't rape, that I did want it, and I was just a whore. I don't really want to put swear words in here, but that's basically what they called me. You're 14. The school excluded him for other reasons, and he was threatening me outside school, so as I was walking home he would threaten me, and he would threaten me and bully me and harass me on my walk home to the point where my mum had to pick me up. She still didn't know why. School hadn't said anything, I hadn't said anything. I was trying to deal with this my way, and I did, I guess, until I would say 6 weeks later. My mum went out again to stay at her boyfriend, and I was home alone again, and people were throwing eggs at the house, and they wanted to know why, and I just said that's probably just teenagers being teenagers, I just didn't want to admit anything. And then 2 weeks later, my mum went out again. My mum's not a bad mum, but I was 14, and I was like fully capable of looking after myself. And she wouldn't be gone all night at this point, she'd be gone for like a few hours. And it happened again 2 weeks later, right around the Halloween holidays, like school holidays for Halloween. And she was away for the like afternoon, and they kind of learned that when mum's car wasn't there that I'd be home alone. And they put a brick through the window, and my dad raced home from work because he only worked up the road and chased them off. And that's when I broke down and told him what had happened. I think we were like nearly 2 months out at this point, and he called the police. Here's the kicker for you guys, and this should not put you off from reporting to the police at all. Like I said, things have changed drastically, and I think I just got very insensitive police officers who were very, very poorly educated and trained. They said to me, so my birthday's in January and this guy's birthday's in March, I think. And they said to me, well, you're older, you'd be the one that would go down for statutory, or you'd be the one that would be tried for it. I said, well, how can that be? I didn't want it. Does it matter whether I'm 30 and he's 12? If I didn't want it and he forced it, it's still rape. But they wouldn't have it, and we left it at that, you know. I was under enough stress for dealing with it. I was traumatised. I was struggling, and yeah. Anyway, my parents didn't want to talk about it, and they just haven't talked about it since, really. But my dad moved me out of my mum's and moved me into his, and you'd think that would be the end of it. I mean, I haven't really spoken to him at all. I cut all ties, you know. He was a friend before that, like, I hung around with him, but I wouldn't really call him like an amazing friend, more of an acquaintance that I hung around with. But my so-called best friend did still hang around with him after I'd moved, and she would pass on messages from him like I really wanted to hear them, and that like really bothered me, and like I struggled with that for a very, very long time. And I don't really talk about it nowadays. I mean, like I said, we're nearly 12 years out. Sorry, my dog is sleeping next to him. We're nearly 12 years out now, and I'm in my third relationship, like serious relationship since then. If you want to find out about my other 2 relationships, go watch my relationship tea video. But one thing I neglected to pop in that video, because I knew I did want to talk about this at some point, was that the end of both relationships, both of them pretty much said the same thing. Now, I know that the second one only said it because the first one said it, but it was along the lines of, you was never raped, you just did it, you just said it for attention. No, I was. I was raped when I was 14 years old. And to tell somebody, male or female, that they were not raped when they were, is disgusting. If they didn't want it, or it was unwanted, or uninvited, it's harassment, assault, or rape. Anyway, guys, rape is a serious thing that affects thousands and millions of people every day, and it shouldn't. No means no. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end this video right here because I don't want to make it too long. I'm going to try and leave some links down below for sexual help and advice. Don't hide it, because you have nothing to be ashamed about. You are not to blame, no matter how much you blame yourself. And yeah, I'm going to end the video right here. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.